I'm Joey Tedesco, and you're watching the Cartoon Palooza. So, let's go ahead and talk about Ghostbusters. Alright. Why did I walk into that? Either way you look at it, nobody's gonna win with the upcoming reboot of Ghostbusters. People online are either acting offended by the making, production, and work behind this movie, all while people are acting offended by the people who are offending the making, production, and work behind the movie. Bottom line, it's setting this film up for failure. Which seems like a shame since, despite the drama, it looks like a standard summer blockbuster. I don't understand why this much uproar has to be made, but then again, I do feel that, as a fanboy, we end up becoming overly fanboyish, as I discussed in a vlog not too long ago. Besides, it's not like I'd be reviewing something just so I could cash in, get some views on the growing infamy and controversy over this film. Unknown to comedian Dan Aykroyd when he was coming up with his film Ghostbusters, there was already a small television series with the same name that really had little to do with the movie. However, to avoid conflict, Columbia Pictures bought a license just so they could use the name. Because if there's anything Sony and Columbia are good at, it's buying out the use of things people cherish. That didn't stop the studio behind the original show from producing an animated series based on their live-action show, just so they could keep using the name they technically originated. This is why the animated series based on the movie was called The Real Ghostbusters, to avoid the real confusion between that show and the other. Added on the fact that they are the same studio behind other cartoons such as He-Man and the lame yet cult classic Batman series from the 60s. Now who would imagine this shtick would continue today? I was at Walmart the other day and I came across this, Ghostbusters Primeval. I know Filmation's been out of production for years and a lot of their material has been bought and sold, which would make the Ghostbusters a nice name for another studio to cash in on. From the looks of this, they're taking the name Ghostbusters, revamping it with a new series, just so they can cash in on the success of this new film. It's even got a different name, Ghostbusters Primeval, and the artwork seems to indicate that it's television-grade CG on par with the new Ninja Turtles cartoon. I just love this box. I rarely ever comment on the DVD art, but really look at it. Look how many times they put the word Ghostbusters on it. Ghostbusters. 175 minutes of ghostbusting action. Ghostbusting action. Didn't know you could use that in a sentence. The Ghostbusters are back and ready for action. If the point wasn't beaten enough, these are the Ghostbusters I'm gonna be calling. Take a hike, Ivan Reitman. The guys with the bell bottoms and the Captain America booties. Those are the people I'm gonna be giving a call. I think I'm done stalling. Let's go ahead and watch this. Wait, why is the original Filmation logo up? And wait, what? What? What the hell is this? Are you telling me this is episodes from the original cartoon repackaged to look like a new show? But what about this box art makes it seem like you're watching an 80s cartoon? They're made to look like CG models. They don't even got the f***ing gorilla on the art. Don't you think it would have helped to include a cartoon gorilla on your box? It says original animated series on it. When you put original onto a series, you can't expect the audience to just assume it's the original series it's based on 30 years before. There's so many revamps of new series, anything can be passed on original and based on something. All I'm saying is, even if they did take creative liberties on the box, they're calling the show something else. Ghostbusters Primeval does not give any indication that I'm watching the original Filmation's Ghostbusters. It's like finding Transformers Beast Wars at Walmart and then going home and finding out it's 8 episodes of the first Transformers series. But the biggest thing that's pissing me off about all this is, god damn it, this isn't the first time a Filmation cartoon fooled me into thinking I was watching something else. Back when I reviewed the Batman animated series, I discussed how as a kid I was obsessed with the Bruce Timm animated series. And then on my birthday, my parents picked up the series on VHS. So excited when I put it to play, And then this showed up. Who would imagine 20 years later, I'm still making the same mistake? Why don't I ever learn? For the sake of this review, I'm be judging the DVD I purchased as I intended to do and not the whole series. At the time I'm writing this review, I had no intentions of watching Filmation's Ghostbusters. The show has about 65 episodes and a dedicated fan base. I'm serious. This is a long-running fan page dedicated to the show, claiming its users as fans of the true Ghostbusters. Wow. I joked that I was gonna be offending somebody at the time I'm making this video with all these SJWs, feminists, fanboys who love the original Ghostbusters film. Now I'm gonna be offending fans of the original Ghostbusters. The internet. Go get offended. Trees, taking away my liberties. Water, who ya playing? Air, apocalypse. From each episode, the series follows a similar formula. The Ghostbusters are composed of two men in their mid-20s solving crimes with their gorilla and female reporter friend. Okay, sounds like every other animated show at the time. Each member of the team follows their common cliche and trope. You got Jake as the looks, Tracy the gorilla as the brain and brawn, and Eddie as the wild card.
Wild card, bitches!
Wonder what that makes Jessica the reporter.
She's the useless chick. Oh, yeah.
Each episode opens with a theme song with the complexity of a drunken pep rally. Oh, riveting. Who would imagine such a poetic masterpiece of hearing a drowned out choir repeat, "Let's go, Ghostbusters." The biggest ironing to the opening is how, despite having a crucial part in each episode, Jessica the reporter isn't featured doing anything. They show every other main character and supporting character, and not her. In the minute and a half they spare singing "Let's go Ghostbusters," they don't include a shot of Jessica, despite the fact that she's featured on the back with Eddie and Jake over Tracy the gorilla. Look, she's even got a weapon, even though, you know, she's not technically a Ghostbuster, but whatever. At the very least, when they're not hammering the word Ghostbuster over and over again, it does have some originality to it. What other show has a group of young hip kids solving mysteries with their talking animal sidekick and a groovy automobile? Oh my god, I'm watching a Scooby-Doo clone. Back when Scooby-Doo was starting out, many studios, including their own Hanna-Barbera, noticed how incredibly popular the show was, and figured they could take the same formula and apply it to dozens of other shows. I can imagine this show was no exception. When in looks it appears like a Scooby-Doo clone, somehow they couldn't enhance the plot. Each episode has their villain who gets the whole cover box and name, schemes a plot that usually gets the attention of the heroes who bumble their way towards saving the day. Somehow you figure the villain would pick up on their habits, try to snub out the Ghostbusters, but then again the show would end sooner. And more honorably, but I digress. The villain in question is the evil, prime evil, and his slew of henchmen, including a bumbling British stereotype, a rat thing, a wolfman thing, and an Elvira thing. When you have a crackpot team of henchmen, you expect their leader to have some clout behind his menacing design. Not really. Imagine if you give him the voice of a disgruntled landlord talking into his walkie-talkie.
You fool! I shall send them all over the world to create tremendous rainstorms and huge floods!
Because, you know, if a villain straight out of a He-Man cartoon should sound like it's an average Joe who's looking for his rent.
I warned you about calling me Old Boy Haunter!
Every once in a while, their reporter friend helps them out, proving that she's an asset to the team. How about that time where she falls out of the buggy and Jake tries to save her, leading to... Wait a minute, what's going on?
Oh, what? Who is it? Who saved me?
Am I seeing this right? Did he just take advantage of that girl behind that cloud? Look at how oblivious he is to how wrong the actions were. He even has this evil-looking smirk on his face. She can't comprehend what just happened, probably because he sedated her. Look at the eyes. Tell me she don't look like she got roofied. So yeah, Ghostbusters Primeval. That's some of them ghost-busting action, I guess. Outside of the formulaic plots and limited animation we've come to expect from Filmation, it's a pretty forgettable animated series I could do without. Any fan of the series can keep it to themselves, because I'm better off without it. I can't even imagine the whole series on DVD, if I couldn't even get through 8 episodes without excruciating boredom. Every once in a while, it seems like an animated character manages to have more motion than you expect, but it's far in between. Characters are nothing more than thin portrayal of other animated cartoons and stereotypes that don't give the series any substance, which is the one thing the other Ghostbusters got right. I'm not the biggest fan of the movies and the show, but even I know they tried to do their own thing while expanding on cliches rather than exploiting them. I'd say save your money when you pass by it at Walmart and forget about it. And with the new Ghostbusters film, all I can say is that if they stay away from anything Filmation, I think they can have a good movie. Wait a minute. The fact that Jessica was barely in the opening, the scene where Jessica was taken advantage of in that cloud, it suddenly makes sense. Paul Feig, the director of the new Ghostbusters film, made this film have an all-main female cast just so he can get back at this series' treatment of Jessica. I cracked the case. Boom! Illuminati confirmed. Question. I almost forgot my question. Question. Are you looking forward to this new Ghostbusters film? Comment and let me know. I'm Joey Tedesco, and thanks for watching this review on the Cartoon Palooza.